Yahya Sinwar. The name itself evoked fear, whispered in hushed tones by Israelis and Palestinians alike. His presence was a constant reminder of the ongoing strife and the deep-seated animosities that plagued the region. As the leader of Hamas in Gaza, Sinwar cast a long shadow, a figure whose influence was felt far and wide, a figure inextricably linked with the decades-long conflict. His actions and decisions were pivotal in shaping the course of events in the region. His journey, from a poverty-stricken refugee camp to the helm of a militant organization, mirrored the turbulent history of the region. It was a path marked by hardship, resilience, and an unyielding commitment to his cause. Sinwar embodied the Palestinian struggle, but also its complexities, representing both the aspirations and the frustrations of his people. His methods were a blend of calculated pragmatism and unwavering militancy, a combination that made him both feared and respected. Sinwar's rise to prominence within Hamas was as swift as it was ruthless. He navigated the treacherous waters of internal politics with a keen sense of strategy and an iron will. He earned a reputation for unwavering dedication to the cause, a man who had stared down Israeli prisons and emerged hardened, his resolve solidified. His time in Israeli prisons only served to strengthen his resolve, turning him into a symbol of resistance and defiance. His leadership, however, was marked by a pragmatic streak. He understood the limitations of Hamas, the need to balance military might with political maneuvering, and the importance of strategic alliances. He knew that brute force alone would not achieve his goals. It was this understanding that made him a complex and multifaceted leader. This duality, the warrior-politician, made him both a formidable adversary and a potential bridge, a figure who understood the language of violence but also the whispers of diplomacy. To Israel, Sinwar was a prime target, a man deemed personally responsible for countless attacks, his name topping the most wanted list for years. His elimination, they believed, would cripple Hamas, severing the head of the snake and bringing a semblance of security to their borders. The pursuit of Sinwar was relentless, a cat-and-mouse game played out in the crowded streets of Gaza and the sterile rooms of intelligence agencies. Yet, Sinwar remained elusive, his network of informants and loyal followers shielding him from the eyes that hunted him. Sinwar's assassination, when it finally came, was shrouded in irony. It was not the culmination of a sophisticated operation, no pinpoint strike by a drone or a daring raid by elite commandos. Instead, it was a chance encounter, a twist of fate that exposed the fragility of life, even for a man accustomed to living in the crosshairs. The details, sketchy and contested, paint a picture of chaos and confusion, a world away from the calculated world of espionage. In the end, Sinwar's life and death were a testament to the volatile and unpredictable nature of the conflict, a stark reminder of the human cost of war. His legacy, however, continues to cast a long shadow over Gaza, a symbol of both resistance and the enduring struggle for peace. It was not the culmination of a sophisticated operation, no pinpoint strike by a drone or a daring raid by elite commandos. Instead, it was a chance encounter, a twist of fate that exposed the fragility of life, even for a man accustomed to living in the crosshairs. The details, sketchy and contested, paint a picture of chaos and confusion, a world away from the calculated world of espionage. For over a year, Israeli intelligence agencies had been engaged in a relentless pursuit of Yahya Sinwar, the elusive leader of Hamas in Gaza. Their efforts intensifying with each passing month as the stakes grew higher and the pressure mounted. Satellite imagery meticulously analyzed every movement within Gaza, seeking patterns, anomalies, any clue that might lead them to their quarry. The analysts pored over these images day and night, their eyes scanning for the slightest hint of Sinwar's presence. Drones, silent predators in the sky, maintained a constant vigil, their cameras recording every meeting, every journey, every fleeting glimpse of normalcy in the bustling city. These mechanical eyes in the sky were relentless, capturing every detail from above. The Shin Bet, Israel's internal security service, played a pivotal role in this manhunt. Their expertise in counterterrorism and intelligence gathering was unmatched. Their agents, masters of deception and infiltration, worked tirelessly to cultivate assets within Gaza, embedding themselves deep within the fabric of the city, their sources whispering secrets from the heart of Hamas, often at great personal risk. These brave informants provided crucial insights that could tip the scales in the hunt for Sinwar. These whispers, often fragmented and unreliable, were pieced together by analysts, forming a mosaic of Sinwar's movements, his habits, his vulnerabilities. It was like assembling a jigsaw puzzle with pieces that didn't always fit. Each piece of information, however insignificant it might seem, was meticulously scrutinized, for in the world of intelligence, even the smallest detail could unlock the door to success. The analysts knew that a single overlooked fact could mean the difference between capture and continued evasion. Technology played a crucial role in the hunt for Sinwar. Advanced surveillance tools and cutting-edge software were deployed to track his every move. Israel, a nation at the forefront of surveillance technology, deployed its full arsenal in this pursuit. From sophisticated drones to state-of-the-art listening devices, no resource was spared. Facial recognition software scanned countless hours of footage, searching for a match, a flicker of recognition. The software was constantly updated with new data, refining its accuracy with each passing day. Signal intelligence units intercepted communications, their analysts sifting through a cacophony of voices, searching for Sinwar's distinctive cadence. Every intercepted call, every radio transmission was a potential lead. The hunt for Sinwar was not just a physical pursuit, it was a technological arms race, a battle fought in the digital realm. Cyber intelligence played a key role, with hackers and analysts working side by side. Yet despite their technological prowess and unwavering determination, Sinwar remained elusive. He was a master of evasion, always one step ahead. He moved like a phantom, his appearances carefully stage-managed, his movements shrouded in secrecy. His ability to blend into the crowded streets of Gaza made him a ghostly figure, always just out of reach. The intelligence pointed to him being deeply embedded within the civilian population, using his knowledge of Gaza's labyrinthine streets and tunnels to his advantage. These narrow alleys and hidden passageways were his sanctuary. The Israelis were faced with a dilemma: how to target a high-value individual who seemed to melt into the background, a ghost in the machine. The challenge was immense, but the resolve of the Israeli intelligence agencies was unyielding. The news of Sinwar's death sent shockwaves across the region. It wasn't the fact of his assassination that was surprising. He was, after all, a marked man, but rather the circumstances surrounding his demise. Gone were the sleek drones and laser-guided munitions, the hallmarks of Israel's targeted killing program. Instead, Sinwar met his end not in a fiery explosion or a hail of bullets, but in a cloud of dust and confusion, felled by soldiers seemingly unaware of his identity. The details, pieced together from often contradictory accounts, paint a picture of a routine patrol gone awry. Israeli soldiers on edge in the tense aftermath of the latest Gaza conflict were conducting a sweep of a neighborhood suspected of harboring Hamas operatives. The air crackled with tension, each shadow a potential threat, every footstep a gamble. Then, amidst the chaos and uncertainty, it happened. A figure, glimpsed fleetingly in the fading light, darting across an alleyway. A shouted challenge, unanswered. A burst of gunfire, instinctive, reflexive. And then, silence, broken only by the echoes of the shots and the heavy breathing of the soldiers. As the dust settled, a chilling realization dawned. The man lying dead in the dirt, his features obscured by blood and grime, was none other than Yahya Sinwar. The irony was not lost on anyone. Israel had spent years, untold resources in pursuit of Sinwar, only for him to die in a seemingly random encounter, a victim of circumstance rather than calculated strategy. The news of his death, initially met with disbelief, was soon followed by a wave of conflicting emotions: elation from some quarters in Israel, apprehension about the inevitable retaliation from Hamas, and a sense of surreal disbelief from those who had tracked Sinwar's every move, only to see him vanish in such an anticlimactic fashion. In the days leading up to his death, Yahya Sinwar had been a ubiquitous presence, his voice ringing out from loudspeakers, echoing through the streets and alleys of Gaza. His image was plastered on walls across Gaza, a constant reminder of his influence and leadership. The recent conflict, a brutal back and forth that had left deep scars on both sides, had only served to solidify his standing among his people. He was seen as a defiant leader, a man who stood up to Israel with unwavering resolve. His rhetoric, a mix of fiery defiance and measured pronouncements that resonated deeply with his followers. What set Sinwar apart from many in Hamas's upper echelon was his fluency in Hebrew, a rare skill among his peers. This linguistic skill, honed during his years in Israeli prisons, gave him a unique insight into the mindset of his enemy, allowing him to understand their culture and language intimately. He understood their fears, their motivations, their vulnerabilities, and this knowledge made him a formidable adversary. This knowledge, combined with his deep understanding of Palestinian politics, made him a formidable negotiator, a man who could speak the language of both peace and war with equal fluency. There were whispers, never confirmed but always present, that Sinwar had been involved in back-channel negotiations with Israeli officials, exploring the possibility of a long-term ceasefire. These talks, if they indeed took place, were shrouded in secrecy, deniable by both sides, and yet they hinted at a complex web of diplomacy that few could navigate as skillfully as Sinwar. These covert discussions, always conducted in the shadows, were a testament to the delicate balance of power and the intricate dance of diplomacy in the region. The very notion of a man like Sinwar, with his history of militancy, engaging in such delicate diplomacy seemed paradoxical, yet it spoke to the complexities of the man and the intractable nature of the conflict. His ability to navigate these dual roles was a testament to his strategic acumen and his deep understanding of the political landscape. His last public appearance, just days before his death, was at a rally commemorating the anniversary of the founding of Hamas, a significant event that drew large crowds. The atmosphere was electric, the crowd a sea of green flags and chanting voices, all united in their support for Sinwar and the cause he represented. Sinwar, his face etched with fatigue but his voice unwavering, delivered a fiery speech, vowing to continue the fight against Israeli occupation. His words were powerful, resonating deeply with the crowd. His words resonated with the crowd, their cheers a testament to the enduring power of his message and the deep connection he had with his people. Little did they know that their leader, the man who embodied their struggle and hopes, was living on borrowed time, his days numbered in a